Hello everyone, this is Mr. Appel, and welcome to math class. Sorry, I was on the wrong slide there already, off to a bang. So, I'm going to talk to you in this video a little bit about some things that you need for this class, and a little bit about watching videos, because you're going to be doing a fair amount of that in this class. It's a big part of what we do here. So, let's get started. Here we go. Whoops, wrong tool. 0 for 2. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. Okay, we're first going to talk about taking notes and watching videos in this class. Like I said, you're going to be doing a fair amount of that. So I want to kind of highlight some things you should be thinking about. This is not Netflix. This is not watching Netflix in this class. Okay? Not Netflix. You are engaging with videos that you're watching. You're going to be learning things from them. So some really important things are learning when it is appropriate to pause a video. Okay, you probably don't do that very often in Netflix. You just watch and eat your popcorn and kick back and relax. But when you're watching math videos, you need to engage with it. So, for example, if I said something like, the secret word is for elephants, the secret phrase is for elephants, and you missed that, you'd probably want to pause right there and write it down in your notebook. If you missed it, you might want to rewind and go back and watch it again. If you're sitting here right now and you don't have a notebook open and you're watching this video, you should pause right now, take out a notebook or a piece of paper and write down some things, because these are things you're going to need to write down and know for this class. Okay? Another great thing about the videos that you want to take advantage of is that you can always go back and rewatch them. You can rewatch them the next day, the next week, the next month, whenever you need to. If you watch a video and then you do some problems and you realize they're harder than you thought, or you might have missed something, go back and watch it again. And again, like I mentioned before a few times already, when in doubt, write it down. Just like you would if we were in class and I was talking to you and telling you to write things down. If I tell you to write something down in the video, write it down. If you think something sounds important, write it down. If you're not sure, write it down. Okay. Your notebooks, what are you going to write it down in? So you've got some options here. I'm going to tell you my preference. My favorite thing is to use a 3-ring binder and to have a section in that binder for math class. Why this is a really great option, I know I went a little out of order here, but this is a great option because we often go through units where graph paper is essential, but it's not always essential. So you might choose to just use graph paper all year, and that's great. But if you don't like writing on graph paper, which a lot of students don't, then the 3-ring binder allows you to use lined paper, but then insert graph paper when you need it. So you just need to have a stack of graph paper, and I usually have some available if you run out in class. So that's my favorite option, is a section in your 3-ring binder. What that also allows you to do is any worksheets, tests, quizzes, anything that you get in this class, you can 3-hole punch it, which I have in class, and you can throw it right in there and keep everything in order. If you're really not a 3-ring binder kind of person, you can use a dedicated spiral notebook for math class. But again, you sometimes will run into problems keeping organized because, if I give you worksheets and you want to keep everything in the right order, it's sometimes tricky to do that. But that's really up to you. Another option, you probably are watching this video right now on your brand new Chromebook, and you might be thinking, why can't I just take my notes in my Chromebook? Well, that can be a little tricky in a geometry class in particular, in a math class, because you do need to physically write things down, you need to draw diagrams, you need to write on things. So it's probably not for everyone. But if you're thinking you might want to do it, I would just ask that you please talk to me about it first. Tell me what you're thinking about using. I have had a few students use it successfully, but it really depends on what you're using. So if you're thinking about going the digital option, just chat with me about it first. You can talk to me right now today or the next time you see me. Okay, moving right along. What should you use to write with? I am a big fan of pencils. So you can either use pencils, or you can use pencils, or if you don't want to use either of those things, go ahead and use a pencil. Have I made it clear that I really prefer pencils in this class? My recommendation is mechanical pencils, because when they break, you just click and keep going. If you do go the wood pencil route, that's fine, but just know that the pencil sharpeners in my room do not work well. They're very frustrating. And so you would probably want to get yourself a portable pencil sharpener, one of those little plastic ones. They're pretty inexpensive, and have that with you. So those are really your options for writing in this class. Okay, that's that. Moving right along. So, tools you're going to need in geometry. So in this class, we are going to do a few different units involving geometric constructions, where we will use compass and straight edge. Compass, of course, is not the north, south, west, east variety, but this kind of a tool. Now, they will be made available to you in class. So if, just a second, so if you are, you don't have to purchase one of your own, but the compass is, if you want to practice, you would need one. If you want to practice outside of class, you would need one of your own. And I really recommend that. So don't buy an expensive one like this unless you really want to. This one right here is like a $12 to $15 version, but you can get ones as inexpensive as 50 cents or $1, and those are just fine just to have something to practice with at home. And a straight edge, if you don't, a ruler is usually a good thing to have, but you can honestly even use the edge of a book for measuring most of the time, so that can be just fine as well. But I really do recommend getting a compass to have if you feel like you're going to need that practice, which you probably will. Okay, moving along. Calculators. We will use calculators pretty regularly in this class. Now you all are going to have your Chromebooks available to you, which have a free, pretty simple calculator built in, and also there are a number of web-based graphing calculators and scientific calculators that are absolutely amazing, will do everything that you need, are totally free, and are great. So why would you want to buy a calculator? Well, unfortunately at this point we can't let you use calculators, we can't let you use the Chromebooks or other devices when you're taking tests and quizzes. We just have test security to worry about. So, since you can't use it for tests and quizzes, you might want to have a scientific or a graphing calculator of your own. For this class, for geometry, you will only need a scientific calculator. However, if you're thinking about a grapher, it might be a good time to invest in one because you will definitely use it in Algebra 2. And if you move on beyond that to pre-calc and calculus and any other math classes, they rely on those graphing calculators pretty heavily. They can be used on SATs now, so it's great to have for that. So this would be a good time to purchase one if you were thinking about it, but it's certainly not required. Scientific is definitely handy, but again, you do have access to a free calculator pretty much anywhere with your Chromebook and probably with your cell phone if you've got one of those as well. But just wanted to highlight that. And one more thing, headphones. You are going to probably, and other teachers may be telling you this as well this year, I really am going to recommend that you just have headphones with you all the time. We will be watching videos pretty regularly in class. You may need to watch one because you forgot to watch it the night before, or because you just need to rewatch something, or because we're doing something new in class. And it's really distracting when a bunch of people are watching the same video or different videos all at the same time and they're not using headphones. So they don't have to be nice, fancy, expensive ones. If you have a pair of headphones that you can carry around with you, great. If you can get a cheap pair that you can just have, that would be great. Again, not required, but really strongly recommended. And I think that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to this year. Have a great day.